Welcome to the video presentation of the programming for this hybrid 21st edition of the MUTEK Festival. My name is Thomas, I work on the communications team and I'm speaking to you from the MUTEK offices in Montreal. Today, we're going to reveal the essentials about the content offered from September 8 to 13, online and also in physical venues. Alain Mongeau, General and Artistic Director of MUTEK Montreal, will get the ball rolling with an overview of the festival programming, plus a sneak peek of our virtual platform. Claudine Hubert of the Strategic Development Team will focus on the exhibition component and on the professional activities of the forum. Maurice Jones, Artistic and Communication Director of MUTEK Tokyo, will talk more specifically about our first virtual market. And finally, I will conclude the speeches with some practical information. Before continuing on, I would like to acknowledge that while you may be watching this in the virtual space anywhere on the world, MUTEK's activities take place on unceded indigenous land. The Ghanaian Nation is recognized as the custodians of the lands and waters on which we speak today, called Georgiagé, or Montreal. With these essential words, I let Alain continue with the details of the program.
Thank you, Thomas. So really happy to be here. Today is a special day. I mean, in a normal and parallel universe now, today, August 25th, would have been the first day of the regular festival. So in trying to prepare this yesterday, I was trying to trace the moment where we switched the universe. And in fact, as early as March 13, the day after the first government press conference on the pandemic, we as a team, the MUTEK team, we made a decision to suspend preparations for the regular festival. The following months were a mix of between floating, suspense, watching, analyzing what was happening elsewhere, what was being done elsewhere, attempting to predict the future. It's actually been quite a roller coaster. There was a moment in the spring where as a team, we sat down, we wondered what to do. Everybody spoke, we weighted the pros and cons of different scenarios, and then we decided to all dive together. Basically, we felt a certain responsibility in relation to our community, to the artists, to the ecosystem of cultural and technical workers who carry the festival year after year. We also felt a certain responsibility in relation to the other MUTEKs around the world who continue to look to us for inspiration. And of course, we felt a responsibility in relation to audiences here and everywhere who are certainly going to need, like all of us, a little light and hope. So in short, we decided to organize a festival that could be seen a little bit as light at the end of the tunnel, a ray of hope. The first thing we did then after making that decision was to actually change dates. As I mentioned a bit earlier, the festival was supposed to be held August 25th to 30th. But as a government directive imposed a ban on all festivals until August 31st, we decided to slip our dates 2 short weeks as to not to clash too much with the usual fall calendar. The second thing we did was to opt for a hybrid format. That is a format of activities that could be done on site while also being able to be carried entirely online if necessary. The pandemic, and especially the constraints related to this pandemic evolving on an everyday basis, we wanted to be able to be ready to face any eventuality. Hence this idea of a hybrid format. We've heard a lot about hybridity recently, but what does it mean exactly in MUTEK's case? So actually, when we started to work on the hybrid festival, we didn't really know how many spectators we were going to be able to host. We weren't even sure we were going to be able to host any spectators at all. So for the forum, for the festival, as much as with the forum, we decided to camp our activities in venues that could be seen as filming studios, transforming those venues into studios, which actually allow us to capture and then project the real into the virtual. So hybridity, what it means is on one side, there is real in situ, live face-to-face presential events with more or less audience, depending on what will be possible according to social measures. And on the other side, a virtual side of things, online with an infinite audience. For this year, The on-site part of the festival will be taking place in 2 rooms in Montreal, 2 venues, 2 rooms. On one side, the 5th room of the Place des Arts, la 5e salle, and on the other side, in the dome of the SAT, the Society for Arts and Technology, the dome that is called the Satosphere. As with previous editions, the program, so the real-time on-site program, is structured according to different series, which allow for the different types of performances to be grouped according to fairly broad categories. This year, our choice focused on 3 series, which I believe allow us to preserve the essence of the festival. So there's the play series, the experience series, and the nocturne series. The play, which will be happening from the Tuesday to the Thursday, are programs that are more specifically based on experimentation. They highlight the exploratory and playful nature of artists in digital art, audiovisual creation, and electronic music. The experience series, which is usually our outdoor free stage that has been presented at the Esplanade de la Place des Arts these past few years, is a series dedicated to discovery of new artists. There's more eclecticism in that series and a mix of different musical style. And finally, the Nocturne series is the one that is more dedicated to the rhythmic and festive forms of music, a little bit more clubby, and takes place on the weekend. For the local program then, we selected 32 different performances, which were distributed in these 3 different series. Out of the 32 performances, 19 will be world premieres, and 17 of these performances include at least one woman or artist that identifies as a woman, which put us in the parity zone for the 3rd consecutive year. In total, we'll be hosting then 60 artists that will be gathering on stage, more than a third of whom are participating in MUTEK for the first time. A few names, we will have world premieres of artists that are quite known within the MUTEK universe. Martin Messier, Alexis Langevin-Tétrault, and Lynn Cacho, who has a new project with a partner in a group they call Ground. We will also host new projects by Shemie, Uri, and Guillaume Coutu-Dumont. There's artists that are returning to the festival, such as Priori, Pelada, and Poirier. Number of new discoveries like Neo Edo, Tatsi Omiel, Sandoli 2, and Wasafiri. And a surprise appearance by Patrick Watson working on modular synths in a project he calls Blue. All these performances will be found online on the online version of the festival. So we'll have a sort of virtual remix of the festival online, to which there's a whole second wave of content of international programming that will be added. The international programming will come from 2 sources. On one side, there's a whole bunch of content that will be provided by the MUTEK branches around the world. So content coming from Barcelona, Mexico, Buenos Aires, Tokyo, and San Francisco. In fact, with the MUTEK network, we're kind of continuing a project that we started during our 18th edition. So that was 3 years ago, the Interconnect project, in which we highlighted our links with four international cultural metropolises. And so we're taking that idea and have it converge on the virtual platform. The idea for that is that for each MUTEK from now on, there will always be a virtual extension in which the other MUTEKs will be able to contribute and participate. So we will find this time in the Montreal edition the contribution of the different MUTEKs through the Connect series of programs. So the Connect Barcelona, Mexico, Buenos Aires, Tokyo, and San Francisco. The international programming will also be complemented by contributions from 3 other partners. First, the Transart Festival in Italy, with which we've been collaborating, programming a MUTEK night in the past few years. So there's actually a MUTEK night there on September 12th, and we'll be streaming the content from that evening. There's also some content that will be provided with a new cultural venue in Paris called Chapelle 14, as well as content coming from South Korea through a partnership with the B39 Cultural Center and its associated practice festival. In total, no less than 9 programs then of international content, 24 different performances then will be integrated in the online festival experience, which is a great consolation to compensate for the absence of international artists in the presential festival in Montreal this year. All in all, this virtual remix, as I call it, of the festival will include then 22 programs of original content, bringing together 57 unique performances. All of these performances form a program or a programming trajectory that will be broadcast for the first time for the time zone in Montreal, which is also good for the Americas in general. And then we'll repeat 2 other times the whole structure to a schedule that's better made to accommodate different audiences in Asia, in Japan, so in Asia and in Europe. The first days of the festival, then, so the 8th, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there's a few performances per day. So it starts slowly, but by the weekend, there will be a continuous stream of content on the 3 different stages of the platform, which allows me to talk a little bit about the platform in itself. So rather than disseminating all our contents on social networks like Facebook, Twitch, or others, we decided to design a specific platform for the occasion in order to bring together audiences from everywhere to live a shared experience. So we started actually with the idea that we didn't really want to only do a streaming festival, but try to lean towards an online festival experience where visitors could interact with each other, but also have access to content other than the performances. So we teamed up with the folklore team here to do this virtual environment. While I'm talking, I think we'll have slides of what I'm talking about. So there's then those 3 stages I mentioned before, which are 3 virtual spaces or rooms that will host the different performances. And those stages come on and off while if there's something happening in them. And in addition to that, there will be a gallery space bringing together about 20 different works from our exhibition. Claudine will tell us a little bit about it later. There's also an auditorium room, which offers a selection of the best content coming from the MUTEK Forum. That's the daytime component of the festival. And lastly, there's a listening room that will draw on the audio archives of the last 20 years of the festival. All this content is free after a small registration ritual that gives access to the platform itself. It's free, however, there's different donation options that have been integrated, giving the visitors the opportunity to support MUTEK's mission. This will help support our future actions in terms of artistic development, emerging talent, while encouraging diversity and inclusion. Before giving the floor to my colleague Claudine, I'd like to take this opportunity to highlight the remarkable work of the entire MUTEK team, especially the extended permanent core of the team. With all the waltz of change and adaptation we went through in the last months, we fell a lot behind for the organization of this hybrid festival. So we're finding ourselves delivering in a few months what usually takes a whole year to refine. So I really like to thank the whole team, the core of the team, Daphne, Katarina, Thomas, Maite, Polly, Claudine, Marie-Laure, Vincent, Greg, Camille, Saunier, Francis, Marine, and all the others that in the next 2 weeks leading us to the festival will be working really nonstop. So to you now, Claudine.
Thank you, Alain. Yes, 2020 has been a year of challenges for all of us in the cultural sector, but we've also seen our fair share of inspiration, despite the worry, the confusion, and the frustration that have come along with it. More than anything, we've seen a desire to bring about change. Artistic practices are a reflection of their society, and institutions such as MUTEK are part of that ecosystem. In June, we supported the Black Lives Matter movement, and we posted a black square on our social media platforms. We understand the incidence of this action, and we acknowledge this crucial moment of taking the right kind of action. We know that systemic change is needed to create a stronger and fairer current and post-pandemic society. We recognize that we have our role to play in dismantling structures of white supremacy. All of these considerations have helped shape the development of this year's festival program, including the exhibition. Since the inception of MUTEK Forum, we've always included a collection of VR works for people to view, and this exhibition component was expanded in 2019 for our 20th anniversary celebrations. So under the title, Imagining Our Digital Futures, we had VR projects, but also installations, immersive projections, and so on. And as it turns out, the future was just around the corner, and here we are. So this year, for the exhibition, we are inaugurating the MUTEK Virtual Gallery. So the gallery is hosted on our website, and it will be also available on the festival platform during the event. Under the title Distant Arcades, this exhibition brings together 25 works, original and adapted for the context of virtual space. The title, Distant Arcades, calls to mind a network of connected walkways and corridors, beautiful but hidden architecture, and the gathering place that the arcade has been over the centuries, but it also reminds us of the more recent arcade of the 1980s, where people would gather and play video games. With this project, we wanted to show that in the face of social distancing, isolation, and fatigue, art is adaptable. It molds to the contours of its time, and it will always be a place to meet. Along with original and generative video works, the exhibition features sound works, 360 videos, and VR works that are accessible for those who have a headset. These are 25 artworks by artists from Quebec, from Canada, and international artists, including several artists from the Amplify Digital Arts Initiative cohort. So I'd like to say a few words about Amplify DAI. It was initiated and funded by the British Council starting in 2018. It's a very, very important project for MUTEK and dear to our hearts, and this is its 3rd year. So Amplify DAI brings together every year a cohort of about 20 women artists in digital art. They're from Canada, from the UK, and from different countries in South America, this year Argentina. Over the course of a whole year, these artists are brought together for artistic programs, educational activities, and networking. And MUTEK is always the kickoff for those activities. So the artists of Amplify are featured throughout the entire festival program, from performances to the exhibition and the forum. So we're thrilled to collaborate again with the British Council on this very important project that allowed us to achieve gender parity for the very first time at MUTEK in 2018. Of course, now the major component of our daytime activities geared towards professional and tech creative industries, digital art, electronic music, and beyond is the MUTEK Forum. From Tuesday, September 8th to Friday, September 11th, the 6th edition of the forum will be underway in hybrid format. So all the events will take place on a special and professional online platform, which will allow our local and international community to meet in the virtual space. On top of that, people from Montreal will have a chance to attend some events physically at the Society for Arts and Technology on Boulevard Saint-Laurent. And we're transforming the space into a recording studio with a very small number of seats available, and of course respecting all the social, the sanitary and social distancing norms. I would like to say that the box office is open right now, and our entire program will be released today, just after this. And you can purchase passes for the virtual platform. And tomorrow at noon on the 26th, the prices go up. So now is a good time to do that. And the sooner you buy your pass, you can sign up for the virtual platform and see who else is there and become familiar with that space. So we are also testing how can we use this as an opportunity to enhance our networking aspects of MUTEK Forum. The box office for the physical program at the SAT and the forum are also on sale online. So this version of the forum is really respecting our original mandate, which is to inspire our community and create a space of connection. So even though it's a special edition, it really is it's close to what we want to achieve. So as always, we're going to be exploring a wide range of creative practices, including audiovisual creation, XR and immersive experiences, artificial intelligence, and of course, electronic music. Just like every year, the link between art, technology, and society is the beating heart of our professional forum. We kick it off on Tuesday, September 8th, with a spirit of engaged reflection and inspiration. The opening keynote we're really excited to bring to our audiences is Ruha Benjamin. She's a researcher at Princeton University, and she's an African-American author of her most recent book being Race After Technology. She's going to discuss the inherent racism that's embedded into our technologies and give us some solutions on how to reset these technologies in a non-supremacist way. And she's in conversation with Jason Lewis of the Initiative for Indigenous Futures. Same day, we're going to, right after Ruha Benjamin, we're offering a conversation between Turkish artist Refik Anadol, who's based in LA, and artist and the co-founder of Kickstarter, Perry Chen. And the conversation is animated by Karine Charbonneau of Anti-Modular Studios, and they're going to talk about art, data, technology, and entrepreneurship. On Wednesday, September 9th, we dive into the latest edition of our XR Salon, which is presented for a second year running by Unreal Engine. So our speakers and panelists will discuss issues in the XR industry, including distribution and tech innovations like volumetric capture and mixed reality and virtual production. Another key focus will be creative projects that use augmented and mixed reality, with presentations by leading names in the field, such as US-based companies Magic Leap and Within, and from Montreal, Creative Studio DPT and the Phi Center. Following the XR Salon on the Wednesday, we will embark on a series of daily activities along the same themes on Thursday and Friday. So these will further explore the potential and challenges of augmented and mixed reality, and also be connecting to other cultural sectors, including visual arts, publishing, cultural institutions, and mediation. So all of these activities are connected to a new project spearheaded by MUTEK called the New Narratives Lab, which is a collaboration with MUTEK and the Montreal NFB Interactive Studio, and our partners in Miami, Filmgate, and O Cinema. And a call for proposals for this lab will be launched next week, so keep an eye on our media. Thursday, September 10th, is a day dedicated to AI. For the past couple of years, we've really delved into AI as a tool, AI as a technology, how does it influence or work with art? but we're also really interested in the different epistemologies of AI. So last year, we explored indigenous and Japanese epistemologies, and this year, we're extremely excited to have as our keynote conference for the AI Day, Sabelo Melambi, affiliated with the MIT, who will discuss AI from an Afro-futuristic perspective. This conference is followed by a panel that explores the relationship between AI and the human voice. So it features Jose Sotelo, who is a co-founder of Lyrebird, now called Descript. That it's a company that created an algorithm that can imitate the human voice. And Jose Sotelo is in conversation with two artists, Berlin-based musician Jovanka von Wilsdorf and Montreal-based conceptual and digital artist Aaron G. The last conference of the day is a special guest also affiliated with MIT, Polish researcher Aleksandra Brzegalińska, who will discuss our human and AI collaboration in the present and in the future, as well as empathy and robotic emotions. Electronic music is at the heart of what we do at MUTEK. Our whole program has been designed to open up new professional avenues for our community of musicians and artists. The final day of the forum on Friday, September 11th, is dedicated more specifically to issues facing the music industry today and in the context of this year, where crisis and opportunity have gone hand in hand. In particular, we are going to address questions of online marketing and rights, new business models, and gain insights from inspiring artists and professionals, including Montreal musician Marie Davidson, and different artists from the European Jump project. We're very excited also to announce that our closing keynote at MUTEK Forum will come from renowned US music journalist Sherry Hu. Sherry Hu will address the ways in which the pandemic is affecting the music industry now and for years to come. So there's so much more at the MUTEK Forum. There's also a lot of workshops. There's some master classes. Please take the time to look at the program. We worked really hard to do something, and we hope that you feel inspired and that you feel connected. As I mentioned earlier, it will all take place, of course, on the virtual platform and remain available until September 20th. So I'm going to conclude here about the forum, but I want to acknowledge the extraordinary work of my colleague, Katarina Messner. She's spearheading the strategic development at MUTEK, and she's the one who imagined this trajectory for the forum. And her and I together, we programmed the content, and we had the contribution from Alain Mongeau, of course, and the festival's programming team. So see you in the virtual space. I'm gonna now let my colleague Maurice Jones take over. Maurice is the artistic director of MUTEK Japan, and this year he's working with us at coordinating our brand new virtual market.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Claudine. As many of you may know, every year we invite a wide range of industry professionals from around the world to come to Montreal to explore the festival and connect with the MUTEK community. As international travel has become quite difficult for the foreseeable future, we're searching for ways to keep on building bridges between the local and the international communities. That is why, as part of the MUTEK Forum activities, we are holding the first of its kind virtual market that is specifically focused on digital creation and electronic music. This virtual market will bring together more than 200 cultural organizations, creative companies, and public institutions, as well as more than 600 individual participants from around the world into one virtual space. We envision this market as a platform for the exchange of ideas, for the showcase of artistic works, for the exploration of the latest artistic practices and the latest tools for digital creation, for the generation of new business opportunities, and ultimately for fostering old and new connections. Our virtual platform will be open between September 1st to 20th to leave each professional exhibitor and all the individual participants ample space and time to explore, connect, and inspire each other. Each professional exhibitor will be able to showcase their organization, their unique projects, their products, and their services in a virtual exhibitor space. All individual participants will be able to create their personal profiles, discover and reach out to each other, and hold one-to-one meetings with only a few clicks. The main activities of the virtual market will take place during the dates of the MUTEK Forum, that is September 8th to 11th, and will include a variety of curated and open-ended networking activities. Since its early days, MUTEK has always been deeply engaged in supporting the local artistic community in Montreal and Quebec. Over the past 21 years, the festival has not only provided a platform for artists to showcase their work, but also supported the international promotion and dissemination of this artistic work through the MUTEK network and beyond. In the most recent years, we arranged a series of highly successful speed dating activities for the local artistic community to connect with curators and programmers of festivals, venues, and events around the world. In sticking to this mission, we selected a group of 20 Quebec and Canadian artists to be represented through their official MUTEK virtual market selection. In support of the development of their artistic careers, the artists will be matched with the participating international professionals for a series of one-to-one meetings taking place on our virtual market platform. I will now hand back to Thomas for some final words and some final acknowledgements.
And I would like to thank our partners who have shown continued support in this particularly challenged year. I will start with our institutional and government partners who support the entire festival and forum. First of all, the government of Quebec, which includes the Conseil des Arts et des Lettres du Québec, the Ministère du Tourisme, the Secrétariat à la région métropolitaine du Ministère des Affaires municipales et de l'Habitation, and the Ministère de la Culture et des Communications. Next, our thanks to the Government of Canada includes Canadian Heritage and the Canada Council for the Arts. And on the city level, the City of Montreal and the Conseil des Arts de Montréal. The public partners supporting specifically MUTEK Forum and its virtual market component are Factor and Canada's private radio broadcasters, Music Action, the Government of Canada via Canadian Heritage, and the Government of Quebec via the Ministère de la Culture et des Communications. A big thank you also to our private partners, especially to Unreal Engine, who is once again the presenter of our XR Salon, and to Tourisme Montréal and Red Bull. Among our international partners, I would like to highlight the British Council, who created the Amplify Digital Arts Initiative, as well as the Consulate General of France in Quebec, and the Adam Mickiewicz Institute, who support our French and Polish participants respectively. Furthermore, several international cultural organizations and festivals have contributed content to our virtual festival trajectory, including our MUTEK network partners in Barcelona, Buenos Aires, Mexico City, San Francisco, and Tokyo. Transart Festival in Italy, Cultural Space Chapelle 14 in France, and the Art Center B39 and Associated Festival Practice in South Korea. Last but not least, a huge thanks to our adventurous venue partners, the Society for Arts and Technology, and the Place des Arts. Of course, there are even more associated media, tourism, and eco-responsibility partners who have contributed to the festival, and we are truly grateful for their support and engagement. Before we leave you with our wonderful trailer designed by AVX Lab, namely Kevin Schmidt and Chelsea Leggett, I wanted to remind you that the box office for events in physical venues is open tomorrow at noon Montreal time. Don't delay getting your tickets because quantities are very limited. We remain at your disposal on our multiple digital platforms and hope you enjoy exploring the programming of this hybrid 21st edition.